this a question of a counter embargo against France has not been entertained. I believe that what President Gaulles did is immoral and is illegal, that it's counter to what he had represented in the days when he was fighting for the Free French, for the independence of France. If anyone ought to understand the true meaning of freedom, it's President Gaulles. And I would hope that he would reconsider this action, he and his cabinet, and to deliver the merchandise to Israel, because it's not used offensively. It's used for Israel to protect herself.
Well, my bill will authorize, or rather direct, the Board of Regents of the University of Texas to establish in Dallas County a four-year institution of higher learning leading to bachelor's degrees. Later, we expect that the master's and doctoral degrees will be added, and the bill further states that this school will be located on a campus not less than 250 acres, and that no classes will be enrolled before 1975.
Would this school be incorporated into the Southwest Center for Advanced Studies? Would it be located there?
I would imagine that it would. The Southwest Center for Advanced Studies has offered to the University of Texas a campus of 250 acres with the facilities that are presently there as part of the Southwest Center.
Mr. Blanton, why do you think Dallas County needs this school?
Well, our present projections, based on the people that are here now, and excluding any that may move in the meantime, indicate that by 1975 we will be severely short without limiting these other schools such as Arlington and Denton.
Later this year is being tested and studied by NASA and here at SCAS. The 11-year cycle of sunspot activity is approaching the peak of severity, and the Pioneer will help investigate the sunspot significance.
I'll see you in the morning. I'm going to.
What's it like to be not in government anymore?
Well, I really wish, Travis, that I could have 1 week's rest during the interim and really not be in government. Although I'm not on the public payroll this week, my telephone is ringing many times each day, and many people are still wanting to see me. Of course, the senators, all 31 of them, want to talk about their committee appointments, and many people that have interest in specific legislation that's being introduced this session, they all want to talk to the new lieutenant governor. So I find that really being a private citizen during this 1 week interim is not very private at all. I find I'm still public property.
Well, I guess one concrete symbol, sort of this fact is that you have to move out of the Speaker's apartment in order to get just about your place to live, and yet you can't move into the Lieutenant Governor's apartment because Preston Smith still has a right to that.
Right.
So here you are in the Commodore Perry Hotel in temporary quarters. This must really uproot the family.
Yes, it really has. Greg and Amy, our 10-year-old son, and our 6-year-old daughter have lived in the Speaker's apartment for the past 4 years. And here at the hotel, it really is a change of life for them. And particularly with room service.
As we approach the increased phase of the current solar cycle, we of course expect increased solar activity, and the inner solar system will be populated with a large amount of particles which have been generated from the sun and are moving towards the Earth in their outward motion through the solar system. Instruments such as these, this particular detector being the Pioneer CD and E package, we should be able to answer questions pertaining to the direction of motion of these particles as they move through their somewhat tortuous path through the interplanetary magnetic field. This will, of course, be of prime interest to the Manned Space Center, as it will give a handle on the peak particle fluxes, the directionality, and, in fact, the degree of seriousness for radiation damage that they would be expected to encounter as they pursue their Apollo and post-Apollo programs.
Well, I don't believe that it's going to change our lives any. We're just ordinary people, Travis, and we're going to just stay ordinary people. I feel that just the ordinary people elected. More, what do you have for breakfast this morning?
Well, we have all types of hot cakes, waffles, bacon, ham, sausage, of any kind.
Well, I believe
Where you like?
I'll have some cream of wheat and some crisp bacon. Yes. I have some two scrambled with bacon.
Like this? Thank you.
So being the next 4 years, you think it'll be about the same, or being governor?
I don't look.
I said 4 years there. And
Well, maybe. Certainly, we hope that we'll be there that long. I think that we're going to enjoy serving with the people as governor of this state. I think it's a great honor, it's a great challenge, and it's a wonderful opportunity to work with the people and try to move forward in so many different fields that I think are essential to the people. I have served in the House 6 years, and I do know some of the problems with which House members are confronted, and because I've been there, and a good deal of the legislation that the House members deal with is actually working in their district. And I know how the senators work. I know the problems with which they're involved, and I know how it is to compromise one to the other in an effort to bring about a consensus on legislation. And then I know what it is to preside over one of the houses, because the lieutenant governor presides, and I've been there for 6 years. And I know how to work with the other presiding officer, which I think qualifies me rather well to sit in the executive branch of our government, because, you know, Travis, when we get right down to it, we ask ourselves this question: what is the governor's office all about?